Hey, it's Matt. I'm back. Welcome to part 4. So part 3 was how to break up an MKV file with using AVI2 demux. It's quick and dirty, so to speak. As long as you know where to find your end of the episode, you can do it very manual by hand, and you can break it up. You can break it up in like less than 5 minutes, well, maybe 10 with the copy to save. The problem is, if you want subtitles, you can't use AVI2 demux. You have to use another application. In this case, I use Handbrake. It may seem clunky the way I'm going to do it, but once you get the roll of it, I can queue up like hundreds of files, potentially. So, but the first thing you got to do is you have to know your chapters on the actual disk. So, to make it real simple, I'm going to show you VLC. I've loaded up the file we've been working with, the rip from disk 1. I'm going to play, but it's muted so I don't get copyright struck. I'm going to look at the playback chapter list, right? I see there's 40 chapters in there, right? Well, 40 chapters divided by 8 episodes means roughly 5 episodes per chapter. It's not an exact science. Actually, it is. I'm sorry. So 1 to 5 is the first episode. 6 through 10 second episode, so on and so forth. Fairly straightforward, And the way you can prove that, if I play chapter 5, I'll see this screen. This is the what's on next episode thing. And if I just go that every single time, chapter 5, chapter 10, same thing. Chapter 15, same opening. So what does that mean? That's the end of that chapter is the end of the previous episode. Okay, so I'll stop that. No need to get copyright struck. Let's get rid of that. And let's look at. I made a little Excel, and on that disk, you see episode 1 through 8 on disk 1 starts at chapter 1, ends at chapter 5. So if I know all the end chapters 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, I can deduce pretty easily the start chapters. If this one ends at 5, this one starts at 6. This one ends at 10, this one starts at 11, and so on down the line, right? Now, what does that information give me? Well, let's take a look at Handbrake. Now, you notice I have 2 episodes queued up there already, 3 and 4, okay? And you see the information in here. We have 4 audio tracks and 3 subtitle tracks, right? Okay. So, we want to add more to that, right? So, to do that, first, I'm going to, now the rule of thumb with this sort of thing is Handbrake, you have to have something selected to do presets, but then you have to sort of reselect it to get it to apply. It's weird. At least that's what I've always noticed. So I have to pick a file, but once it's selected once and you have the presets all set, then you don't have to change anything, right? So I'm going to open a file, and I'm going to pick the file we've been working with. Now I want to check my presets. Now I do happen to have some presets loaded that I load those 3 with, but I'm going to pretend I'm going from the beginning. So I'm going to choose that. You notice everything disappeared. So I have a blank preset, right? I'm going to go to summary. It's MKV, which is I want. Video. Now someone might say, why am I doing H.264 and not going straight to H.265? My server is much more powerful. I would rather do the H.264, H.265 conversion, or whatever the hell is in the MKV. I think it's H.264. On the server, when I can queue up 50 files, let them launch, and just keep piling on. If I get more Blu-rays to rip, or if I DVR stuff, I can just throw them in the queue and let them go. I have a bunch of stuff converting right now from that DVR, like a bunch of musical stuff from PBS over the weekend, as an example. So on my desktop, when I'm doing the breakup, I'd rather let it be fast. So H.264 preset, change the same as source, leave this alone, audio, selection behavior. Now let's see if you can see that. You can't unless I do it again. Audio defaults, okay. And I want all language. This is a generic English, Japanese. I press J for Japanese. So I'm doing all not just selecting languages. So every English and Japanese track will get picked. And even if I do that for everything, so for anime wise. So that's saved. Now I need to do subtitles. So subtitles, I want to do same thing, selection behavior, which obviously you can't see, so I have to subtitle defaults, boom. And then we go in over there. And the same thing, I want all matching selected languages, English, Japanese. I don't want to add a foreign audio scan. And I don't want to do any burn-in behavior. Save. Right? Now I have to do it again, meaning I have to go back to open source. Yeah. And you should see now all three of these subtitles are there. And all of that's there, right? Now we're not quite done. What episode are we doing? We have episode 4, so we want to do episode 5. Episode 5 starts, according to our spreadsheet, at chapter 21. So we go up to chapter 21. Start, and then you can't see. There's a big menu that's popping up, but I can't make these little menus show. There's some trick to it that I don't know. I'm not going crazy. Episode 5 ends at chapter 25. That's 5 chapters. You see me the change. Now I have to go here, and again, I just have to. I'll show you the result of this in a second. I basically want to make it output to a file that named chapter 5. I'll show you that result, and I add that to the queue. And let's see what we got. So we have chapter 5 in there. So chapter 4 looked like it had 4 audio tracks and 3 subtracks, and it outputs to a destination, blah, blah, blah. My network location, Sailor Moon 92, Season 4, Episode 1, Season 1, Episode 4, and output destination, Season 1, Episode 5, 4 audio, 3 subs. Now here's the magic. I'm completely preset. I have a file loaded, and I have the file loaded. So all I have to do now is I want to do chapter 6. Chapter 6 starts at 20. No, sorry, 21, 26, I'm sorry. And ends at 30. Now I want to go and make sure I got a file name for chapter 6. Save. Add to queue. And I'm going to go, now I'm going to do episode 7. Starts at 31. Ends at 35. And I'm going to browse. And I'm going to name it so it's episode 7. Add to queue. See, it's there now. Episode 7. Episode 6. And so forth. Now I need to add one more, which is the final episode, 36. Oops. Did I mess one up? 35, okay. 40. And then I have to go and just name that one properly. And that's episode 8. And save Rooney. And then add a Rooney. So now I have the first 8 episodes added, right? Now, here's where the magic comes in. I'm going to open source, open file, go to where I ripped the second disk, and load that up. And you'll notice all my presets are the same. Right? So if I go, and now let's do a little logic here. I know there are 8 episodes on that disc, and I know there are 40 chapters. I looked at it. I'm not going to belabor the point of that of doing the same thing I just did. All right? I mean, I did it off screen. I preempted that. Okay, so you can preemptively, So what does that tell me? If I look at my little spreadsheet, I have disc 2, and disc 2, episodes 9 through 16. 9 starts at 1, ends at 5. 10 starts at 6, ends at 10, and so on and so forth. So when I go back to Handbrake, chapter 1, I want chapter 1 through chapter 5. And I want to save that as this is episode 9. Save. Hit the add a Rooney. And let's look at 9. And 9 has all our presets in there. And we'll just go on. And we're down the list. We'll chat. Now we're going to do episode 10, which starts at episode 6, ends at episode 10. And we just got to change the saver. Episode 10. Save Rooney. Oh, there's episode 10. Looks good. Now I will just go through this real quick here. The video, I don't want the video to take forever, but where are we here? So we now need to do chapter 11. So that's going to be episode 11. Episode 11 starts at chapter 11, strangely enough, and ends at 15. And we need to browse and just save Rooney. And edit. And then episode 12 starts at 16 and at 20. And we're just going to keep rinsing and repeating, basically, guys, if you haven't figured that one out. 12. Okay. So that's the bit. So you see the queue is accumulating. See how fast that goes? Now, if I had all 8 of the disk rips, I could just go through and add all those to the queue and then walk away from this computer, basically. Now, I mean, my desktop will just keep doing it in the background, you know. So I'm going to stop that episode here. I think I have, and the next time I come back will be when I have episodes to convert to H.265. Okay. So I'm going to let all those burn through and love you next episode.